Thank you. Now, kusha on a cabo, as now you read the session don't start and now they record. And the reason why we could go for 1 hour, say we record is because data protection, people didn't get right to the information, so the information, so we inform on us, say we record. This now is 63rd session where today we deal with Ramadan and your medication, and Ms Aminata Jalloh now they present to us today, and we'll get it well. Bodi Bεtε pass Gentri team, we go back. Me, your name, Natemu John Fuller, me, not a medical person, I'm a business IT consultant. I deal with information security, cyber security, projects, things like that, and I immediately deal with, okay? So me just then also for bring this, make sure this program can to uninterrupted and also help them people also, be the middleman between, okay? And these are the Bodi Bεtẹ pass Gentri program, okay? But as most of you know, all within here, we know they get paid, they do this for free, out of the goodness of your hearts. They cost yourself money out of your own pocket. We need to do them for money, we do them because we want to help people them. But what do they ask public as well? Please, if I get way for let this message get to put them back home via radio or TV, or even for share the link, please do so. Because not they do this for we say, for they do and for no way we educate to people them. It's not a free session. However, if I'm with them, we'll not give personalized advice now, yeah, medical advice, not general advice with the so if we talk about something maybe it relates to you, please keep quiet, not to say that you would talk about. No, it's just a coincidence, okay? The reason we really give personalized advice is because we're not getting background on medical records, so we're not able to give personalized advice. If you get something you want to ask with a general question, feel free for ask. If we're able to answer you now, we go try for take your number or take away for get back to you, so we're able to answer your questions, okay? Like they say, the recording go there on YouTube and Facebook, so please, we don't talk to people them already. If you know, say, all the information gets shown, please stay on or change your name on display. Like I said before, if you want to ask question, if you look on your tab, it look like this. If you look in 3 buttons, then press them. They will come up with this, so you can ask me question by chat, or you can send me message or compliment or suggestion or feedback. We're not a take and see if you give feedback about like a good thing. Okay. And if you look now, so give ace your hand for ask question. If I see I'm going to count you. If not, I'll use this. Just turn your camera on, ace your hand up, and I'll count to you and ask you. If I not see you in time, I'm not count to you. Please don't say I didn't know. It just means I not see you. That's all. Okay. All right. So like I said before, if you get any questions, suggestions, feedback, please feel free to reach out to me on by email or by WhatsApp. One more thing I want to say, dear family, just a quick one before we start. If anybody there on the WhatsApp group, I understand say there was an issue with fraud in the past week or so, where somebody they contact people them and even to some extent being rude. Yeah, they ask say, do not provide any information to the people in there. We know they contact you directly, for ask for any information. Most of the time, the people that we invite to for Canada program, and we will contact you if we need anything, but we're not going to need no personal information. So dear, we don't put out a notification already for one people them around here fraud day, but unfortunately not something we will able to do right now. Are they looking into that from an IT professional perspective? If there's something I can do, I will try and do. But as things stand at the moment, I can only warn people that say, do ya, una not pass on information to anybody. If una not sure of whether they contact una, hang up. Go on the platform of USA, your service provider, i.e. Zoom or wherever, contact them directly with the number we then get there, but do not give your information to anybody. Not even me. If I call you, if I ask you for something, you're not sure saying me, they call you. Say, no worry, I will call you back. Call the number where you sabi. Then you make sure saying me, they talk. Okay. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Ms Jalloh for taking us through the session today.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Good evening to everybody here. Ms Aminata Jalloh. I'm one of the pharmacists amongst them at the group now. Hope so all they do fine. Thank you for logging today, for listening to this talk. So important. Ramadan and your medication. I know the talk today. You medicine and Ramadan. So what to do, I put them together now because Ramadan just dey around the corner, and we get impact when Ramadan, when they fast inside Ramadan, we get for take care how they take on medication them. So now I make so happy to say this advice really warrant for law consider law talk about, and very briefly law make myself aware about the things that we for do and what we not for do whilst we fast and whilst we need for take medication. So law first remind we say very briefly about Ramadan. Ramadan na the month in the Islamic calendar, na the ninth one, na lunar calendar, so na the moon nine they use for count. Nine na the that month day, now they fast the whole month, 29 or 30 days. So this year, Ramadan, they actually start around the 23rd of March and for 30 days or 29 days, depending on the sighting of the moon. So now around April, third week April, now go done. So then Ramadan gets the 10 day will they fast. So we on the fasting in Ramadan, they start very early. This time we'll calculate time, don't project. It will start around 4:30 in the morning or 4 o'clock even in the morning before Sunday rise. Then it go to dawn by 6:30. Then it get for stretch go, the time go change in March to like 7:30. Then by the time the month they done, the 30 days, it go to 8 o'clock. So really, probably, generally speaking, around 4 a.m. start up to like 8 p.m. So they talk a good 12 to 14, so 14 to 16 hours fasting. So fasting, not to all man supposed for fast, not to all categories of people when are Muslim for fast. I understand back say Lent also they own. So I'm sure a lot of things what they cover now, it go also apply when I talk about medication. But I'm sure somebody go add there for me when I reach that point there. Right. So who should fast and who should not fast? We get groups of people who are not for fast and now for fast. So I get me able Dr. Kamana, we're much more knowledgeable Islamically past me. So just want to briefly touch on that. So I know if Dr. Kamana can just tell we briefly who that for fast and who that not for fast and what in the fasting entail and the benefits. Please, doctor, if you can add there for which also like a minute or so. Thank you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we need from unmute her.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Ms Jalloh.
Yeah.
Now, according to the Islamic concept, the issue of fasting, or sawm as they call it in Arabic, is prescribed upon everybody on the 9th month of the year. When I say everybody, obviously not just the law that, but then exceptions then they we know for observe the fast. So one category obviously not the woman them, and the other category not the picking them, and then the third category now the older people them, you know, and then maybe you go say a fourth category now then they will know well. So if you begin with the woman them, you know, with mama them, with sister them, with auntie them, fasting no incumbent, you not necessarily mean say you for fast power if you day per your period. So when you day in that time the way you they observe your period, then you're not supposed for fast. So if they last for 3 days or 5 days or 7 days, the advice or the recommendation is that you for cut the fast and observe your normal duties on those days, and then when the month dawn during Shawwal, and you get a whole year for make up for their lost days then they, you know. So that's it. So now 5 days, you will make up for. But normally they advise to make it be Shawwal when at the 10th month after it, because he's still there in that particular mode day, rather than wait until you don't begin go back to 3 courses of meal a day before you go for that. A bit more difficult. But you get a whole year for make up to that. Second category, now the one the way they breastfeed. You know, so then young mama they will just put to bed. As long as you they see that blood they come out, you're not supposed to fast. But after the blood not done, and then of course you begin breastfeed, then obviously you don't necessarily get for fast. However, it not stop you for try. If you try and able for make up the time, then not a problem. But as long as you just struggle, then not make them say I matter of mastery for keep. Then thirdly, the category of the picking them. Obviously, we know saying now up to 12 years, 9, then the picking mark they seen them and the blessing them for picking. So when you get to that puberty or or adolescence, then there is 9, then the beginning from adolescence. So that 10 now you're supposed to keep fast. Then you come to the adult them. Now adult them, the one them way travel. You got for important. You got to understand that important. For making say the one way they travel. It not necessarily means say for keep fast because waiting do that person they in the most difficult form of jihad. Like me come on here one day, I remember say I had to go visit my daddy in America. 5 time zone difference day between me and them. By the time we left here early morning. We reach under na daytime, and by then obviously na 10 o'clock na net na yeah. So it was difficult, and that I make them say not necessarily for keep fast. We the travel, but if you make up the days again. If you're not well, you sick, where you're not able for put, you're not able for keep the fast, they allow you not for keep the fast, left the fast until you're able for keep the fast and then make up for the days that we lost. Then of course, the one day we they take medication, we are the most important thing we talk about. Do you please when I understand say the one day we need for take injection. The injection not going to nullify you fast, if not just injection. But if you get for give blood, or you get for put something that you nose, where they go now your throat, or you get for put something that you mouth, where they go into the throat, where they hit the throat, or something you get for swallow, then definitely not go keep fast. Again, if you get for take medication 2-3 times a day, where if you don't take the medication, the sick go worse by you, then they always advise you for make you not keep the fast. But the other ways we can make up for that, then we will talk about that later, because you can ask people to keep fast for you, or you can sponsor somebody where they keep fast for cut fast. That's something we can do. Means saying that the same equivalent of the blessings, but there's a way for actually recompense for try for make up for the thing that we lost. We'll probably go talk a bit more about the categories, but this is not the category then way then say no for keep fast. If you get for taking medication, we conflict with the 10 day and the cut fast and keep fast, then something not to for you. If you not well, if you travel, if you they under 12, you not necessarily say how papa should keep fast. Yeah, and of course the woman then the own section as well. So I will cut it short, make I not lengthen the program, but we will talk about that if at all any questions there about that. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamara. Well, you don't explain on this, you don't make it clear for we. So then, okay, so fasting, wasn't that the fasting really? The fasting just, it means to say, for eat, for drink. Water self, not for drink. 1 drop self, not for pass your throat. Eat nothing at all before Sunday rise, if you don't eat done. So go wake up early morning before that 4 o'clock time, before the Sunday rise, you for eat something. Encourage to let you eat and let you go eat something go last na your belly. Sometimes like a protein-based meal, sometimes like you oats, for example, something will last na your belly, eat well and drink lots of water or any clear fluids, but mainly water is best, yeah? And then even time back, you eat well, balanced diet. My sister will add just now, Sister Fatima, as to the sort of things and how much for it. Now, the benefits of fasting, they don't prove, say, medically, fasting, they help. They help diabetics, they help people that want to lose weight, but let them control their blood sugar, then diabetics, for example. And anybody self as well want to keep healthy. The 5-2 diet, what they are, but so now where Dr. Mosley and so many other people don't find out about it beneficial. So watching more now, even Ramadan, when are even longer periods. So again, benefits, apart from the physical benefits, they also, of course, they give a rest to you. Major organs like the kidney, the liver, when they process food and other things, major things, then really they play a major role. So they give them chance, let them recharge, let them, detoxify things under the body and let the body rejuvenate. So you get other benefits that we'll not go into now. But the other benefits, of course, are spiritual benefits. One are the main reason for why Muslims and they fast. Because God don't talk in the Quran, so now make so we no say benefit the day, what the day. So now that they drive people in for fast as well. So over to Sister Fatima, if you can clearly to me next slide here. I wonder if you can just mention a little bit for we about the kind of food we'll go eat and how much during Ramadan and normally. Thank you, sister.
Okay, sorry, I'm not be able to mute myself. So thank you, Auntie Amina. So yes, how Auntie Amina just done explain how, you know, fasting gets beaucoup benefits then per people than weight. Research done show say it you know, they're able to let people then lose weight, but now the type of the food then where we they eat during the time where, you know, with the break we fast, neither cause the problem. So first of all, waiting to happen when we know they eat, as Auntie Amina Bidon say, you know, the kidney there and the liver, they're not there for work, they're not there for break down the food then. But you know, the carbohydrate where we they get from we rest, from you know, we gari, all these things, then they will get carbohydrates, then the body the store and the liver, okay? Now they the liver, now they so when it there, you know, now then they use when we the fast. So when we the fast, now then the body they use and the fats where we get back. Now then they use when we know they eat. So now then they survive palm. So now when we the break we fast, if we the eat food then we're high in you know, fat, high in sugar, high in salt, you know, the body they get that high rise in blood sugar now we body. So then they you know, go cause the adverse effects by we body, because when we go back to fast, now the same cycle now they happen. So it's really important that we understand, say, when we the break we fast, we therefore eat the right food then, okay? So as we see here, one major thing where they cause that sharp increase in we blood sugar level, now the portion size them of we food, okay? So as you see now, the picture the way we see now the slide here, you see saying that the first portion, you get small rice there, you get small salad, you get small portion of the stew. You can see say the blood sugar level then they not rise too much, okay? Because they not get beaucoup fat, they not get beaucoup carbohydrates there. But then when we then move on to the bigger plates then, as we see, you they get cool fats there, they get more higher calories, more carbohydrates for the food, which means say then, you know, you go get that high and sharp rise sugar level now you blood. So now we therefore understand say the portion also, even if we they eat healthy, see how the plates now healthy food now you see there, we therefore make sure that the right proportion where we they put there, because if not, again, it cause issue probably blood. And then if it sticks, so you know, continue for eat like, you know, the big portion that like you see at the last plate where you see underneath there. Then, you know, when they move back from Ramadan, when they go back to eat when food, then I saw the weight go back on. So now makes people then, after then don't finish Ramadan, then they say, then, you know, then add weight, then don't put weight back on, or they not lose any weight, then, you know, nothing happen at the body. Now then, they pause them. So wait here, they recommend, when on the break on a fast, I know say, beaucoup people, then they do them, they specifically in the Asian community, then they break them fast with dates. So dates are a good one, it gets high fibers, then they help you for pass through. But also it replace all the mineral way when are not able to get from the liquid way when are not able to drink. So when are not able to drink water, not able to drink nothing. So when on the break on a fast, them minerals they way then at the water when are not able to get them when are the fast, they're able to replenish them, such as potassium, you know, manganese and stuff like that. Very good, beneficial for the body for replenish the organ then as well. So the other thing where we therefore also understand saying the quality of the rest then as well, where we get. So they try to mix the rest, brown rest, not a wet rest. That means say it go get that slow release, you know, throughout the day, you know, when on they grab. even in the morning, the oats, as Auntie Amina say, it's good because it give you that slow release, you know, throughout the day of that blood, the sugar in your blood, it is released and slow. Okay, so then they're really important. So when I go able for, you know, get strength, but also when I go able for, you know, not get dizzy, you know, and not go lack, you know, concentration. And so even the fruits that when I eat now, watermelon, papaya, guava, things then we get high water content because then they go help on for the whole day and I go replenish now, even with the vitamin D we on they get stay safe. But also pap now also no other good thing we're not able for add, but we have to take time with the sugar because the sugar again go give you that crash there. So all around, it really important. Let we reduce with salt as well. With fats, with high sugar, the fried food them, so we know the effect with blood sugar level then as you can see here. And also for keep really hydrated when on throughout the time we are not able for drink and eat. And then the normal. So say then they go give you some inspiration on how to manage on our eating when at the break on a fast. Okay, thank you, Auntie.
Thank you, Sister Fatima. Okay, so we move on. So what's happen where we they fast? So we body right. What would they fast? And to do it in the morning, don't get for go for this 14 to 16 hour. The amount of glucose when they provide energy, it they reduce steady day they don't. So now make you feel weak, would they feel, you know, lethargic, or not able to do anything, you get headache. But the first day, second day, no more, then the body they adjust because a shock to the body. But it can adjust, so it can persist. So now make for eat well in the morning if you can, it goes good. And then also the water we drink, it make it be to say you not dehydrate too much because get for lose water, you get for pass water, but you not get for take water during 14 to 16 hours then day. So that all that need to happen to a body. But now good thing still because the body they know what they do. But you just keep feeding it the right things like how my sister explained earlier. Of course, we're not able for exercise like how they normally exercise because the energy not there, is low. So we always just say let people and still keep active like how they can normally keep active. At least they go work, they go school. No, they don't know say because they fast, my energy low, you know they do nothing. So if I let your body still they move around, but we'll not expect you for going to gym, they go use muscles, yeah, they run, they jog. Whilst they fast, it's not advisable because it will deplete the energy so much that sometimes you go faint, you go for them, or anything will happen to you. We're not way serious. So again, we're not talking about body weight, so it's very good. Whilst with the fast, the body they lose weight because again, where the sugar not there, where the glucose not there, the energy don't done. The body they begin break now. The fats will get the fat stores they will get they break them down for you. So now it makes so it can find for lose weight through fasting as well, you know, if you can fast. Then the sleeping pattern can change because would they eat late? Sometimes, like I say, would they eat up to from 8 o'clock now they begin eat. So by the time they 1 hour, 9 o'clock, 10, you know, so now make it still fine for keep active. Would that exercise where don't break in faster, it can fine for exercise. Then that long prayer will they play back, that form of exercise. But the sleep pattern they unbug because they eat late, then the food they digest late, then they get for go pray. Then by the time we wake up in early time, so now shorter sleep, you know, long day, shorter sleep. But like how the period they right so now, don't they move small away from winter. But anyway, as time they go on, people like adjust to the sleep pattern. And now for a short while, for 4 weeks. So, but now for time for catch up on sleep, also you able. If not during the day, you able power nap. Now for try that day, and now for try sometimes go to bed as early as you can. But not for joke about it. Now strict regime. So now for try not for too careless about the eating or the exercise or the drinking or everything, the sleeping, because the body really gets a shock to all the different things what they happen at once. So therefore take care of yourself whilst they fast. Then because of all this water business, where it depletes the sugar levels and all kind of other minerals and whatever, it affects how drugs they get absorbed, how the drug then they work inside your body, you know, how effective they are, how not effective they are. Some of them they work more on acid, so sometimes your body they're not in acidic condition for long. Some them not want too much acid. Then also because the water not broken now your blood. It affects how blood drugs and they get broken down, like I say, and absorbed. So now make so well, the campaign, the topic now about the diseases, the long-term disease and medication. Now make it so important for pay attention to this because your body all don't change from what thinking normal when you take medication. So when they talk about chronic diseases, we'll say chronic, we not mean say it's so severe illness. So you know me say it chronic and bad because I think it means something in a KRIO say it don't chronic, it means say some kind of worse, severe something. It don't mean so. Chronic just means a long-term condition, it dey per you, as opposed to acute condition when I just that moment they no more for a short while. So the diseases that will be the top, but today, not so the examples no more. Not of us say at the top of medication, usai where you sick for a short while. For example, say you need antibiotics for some infection. So that side you can take the antibiotics or take 3-4 times a day, some of them. You can take them, you know, fast, then 5 days day or then 7 days then day, so that you go become well. That's and then now, lots of, you know, you're able for take medication, but when they talk here, but the people them will get problem when a long-term condition, like some of the word don't list so. So not only one that would they take medication for a short while, then they own it is known and it's been advised, but the other way know better, the learned scholars, they say, yes, break you fast if you know well, take medication, then you make up the fast later, it's clear. But for somebody who get chronic illness, now they now the thing they whereby you get for talk to the imam, first of all, if you qualify, like how a doctor don't talk earlier, you know, and also whether you can break the fast completely and not fast, or you can fast. So you get for now you second for know yourself and you condition, but you find that you talk to the imam as well as your doctor or whoever they treat you, any specialist, because not to all man if fit. Whilst you did now long term, you get chronic condition, they get for take medication chronically long term. So these are some of the examples then for the hypothyroidism, now that condition outside, now your thyroid gland, what they told you neck here, so we can swell, what people and get the other kind hypothyroidism, where they get they call I call myself goiter, na the other one land day, but that gland what they cause that swelling day. Now if they say not they walk, they underwork. So now in a hypothyroidism. So we need for give thyroid medication, what they supplement waiting or get. So that medication, they, for example, it need for be taken half an hour before food on empty stomach, first thing in the morning. So you people like for continue for follow that routine day whilst then they fast. So they will take out just before that fajr, take out first, grab first, take out before you begin eat the morning meal, for example. Then they'll get heart disease, Parkinson's disease. You know, the Parkinson's disease, you know, certainly there's some of the medication and are up to like several times a day. So they get for really discuss if it really worth them for let them fast. Diabetes as well. Some people are on insulin. Someone they have some medication where you get for be careful because if your sugar level go low too much whilst they take you go faint. You know, tell me you go for them, you go get, you know, they go get other complication in back because if your diabetes not controlled well. Hypertension, then they get high blood pressure, then they'll get chronic headache, migraine. You know, because the fast, of course, sometimes they essentially first 2 days. For example, in most people, they can get headache. So if you get migraine normally, then you go now, you know, they fast, you know, they eat, you know, they drink, it will make you migraine worse. So you get from see how you control and they, if at all you need for fast. Asthma, COPD, now people are what they take inhalers. So you get for watch out which inhalers, when you they use them, because some groups, schools of thought say not for use inhalers, but generally you can use them. Epilepsy, mental health problems, depression. You're not going to say because I they fast, I not care about me depression are okay. No, it can be to say you get anxious again for one reason or the other, or the depression gets worse. So therefore really discuss with you, possibly they take care of you, healthcare professional, whether it be your doctor, specialist, and any other healthcare professional. So anybody will get a chronic disease, let it make sure say it adhere to in medication. No matter what, let it make sure say it take them because otherwise it will become worse. We don't want to let it become complicated. So we know say most Muslims want for fast, we get serious condition there, like some of them why don't underline so. For example, diabetes, now one of the main one them, where most of we get, you know, Muslims, most Muslims get diabetes, most, because it's so ethnically, I don't know, it's just amongst the ethnic people a lot, especially Africans, South Asians, you know, it depends a lot, you know. So statistics they show say at least 70 to even 83% of Muslims will get diabetes and they fast. So in like letting anybody tell them then go fast. So with that kind of people and they, yes, Islam not say you have to fast all, but if they want fast, we can encourage them. So by sit down first, we educate them about their condition. Let them know, say themselves well educated about their condition, for example. So for example, in diabetes, like now one big example way important to we all now, it can affect the diabetes condition itself can cause things like what we call hypoglycemia, where sugar level don't go low, or even hyper, where the sugar level too bokum, you know. So and then it can cause dehydration, you know, and also the complication it can be sometimes outside the can be explained before, where the sugar not in the blood for use for energy, now the cells then, now the organs then, for like go get energy for move and do what they do. It go begin break down what to say the fats. So some of the product where they come over and break the fat, it's now ketone. Then ketone body is there when many other chemicals. Then they call what to call DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis. Now so they call it DKA. Now very serious condition, complication of diabetes, for example. So it can cause people it can even be fatal. It can people that can go into a coma if not treated very quickly. Thrombosis, people who they fast generally, they get risk of thrombosis anyway. People that get diabetes get risk of thrombosis because of the hydration and the thickening of the blood, etc., etc. And so what would they advise? The one then where they will get diabetes, for example, the need for talk to the healthcare professional, the doctor, the specialist, whoever, for let them risk stratify them. So I'll get one image now where I pull from the IDAR website, then get this category, how they categorize people that with high risk. The religious opinion is they must not fast. Then you get the category 2, when they're not high risk. The first one are very high risk, sorry. Then the second one are high risk. Then the third one are moderate to low risk. So some of them they say should not fast, the category 2. But if some of them see also apply, they're well-controlled diabetes, they not get kidney complications, for example, or other kind of complications in diabetes, maybe they can fast. Okay, but if they get too many of these complex things, okay, they happen in diabetes, then maybe they should not fast. Then the low or moderate people, then moderate risk, they're well controlled, they normally can on something like metformin no more, or just one other kind of medication no more, when they give them problem, they're well established and well controlled, then can try for fast. It's okay if they want fast, if they don't talk to the imam and the doctor for letting fast. So we'll go back to the slide. So now that's the risk stratification. So dear me family, anybody on a diabetic, if you don't do that already, normally we say 1 month before, at least before Ramadan start. If you don't do that, now do that now. Speak to your healthcare professional, say whose medication they take for your diabetes or any long-term condition what I don't mention before, or any other one I don't mention at all. So education is very important about your condition, about your medication and the risks and the benefits. Yeah, so the benefits, if outweigh the risk before you fast. If the risk outweigh the benefit, maybe not for fast, but not we go advising on that, now the specialist and also your imam, okay, about the risk that we can get. And then also the education can involve blood glucose monitoring. So then they're on insulin, or then they want the medication called sulfonylurea, for example, glycoside. They can need for check their blood glucose. But at the same time, some people then they're not in any of their medication, yeah, so they can advise say during Ramadan that they fast, then they check their blood glucose just in case that they get risk for fall ill, faint, or even any other complication. So maybe now for talk to a healthcare professional, see if you able to get some of these things, would they help you for let you monitor your blood glucose. And not for everybody, but in some cases. Then you also know a step for break the fast, or you feel bad. You understand? When you get the signs, people they get some signs them, and then either for mention, not just they say they be out for God. No, God no wants difficulty for we. Then the oral medication them in diabetes, you get some of them where you can take them, like the metformin. So when I know the main one, I know the first line what they can give. If I no more you pan, you can take them once a day. If not once a day dose you take, you can take them twice a day. If not 3 times a day, most of the time they can tell you say omit the middle dose. because the amount of food they eat and the meals then don't contract. Now fewer they eat. So sometimes they go advise you like take them once or twice a day. It depends on your sugar level, your HbA1c, what they call what could they check. But it best let you talk to your doctor or whoever they treat you. Insulin adjustment needs to be done. Insulin is very, 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 very potent in the sense that when you don't get food, you go take them, it can cause serious problem. Okay, insulin always go with the food. So you way they use your insulin. So if you forget insulin, morning, evening, and daytime, no problem. Or if you fast, the dose get for be looked at. Some dose then I can even reduce that. Sometimes I will say reduce the morning dose, make the bigger dose be the evening dose. So all that day for discuss, but now on a patient-to-patient basis. One size not fits all. One advice now for one person, then the other person go get different kind of advice. So we're not there for advice, but we just a reminder and say now for time for make all the adjustments here before you fast, if you don't do so already. So don't talk about this one. So the different kind of medication they were there, all tablets, capsule, the thing way they put through your mouth, parenteral, when they will get tubing, when they go through their nose or through their guts, when they give them food. So then treating and they, for example, now just examples here, you cannot fast if they take the YSO because if they go into the stomach, if they go through the throat or the stomach or through the veins, like how they feed. So that you cannot fast at all because, it will break the fast, anything will pass the throat, like how Dr. Kamar been touched on. And then what they do is, suppositories, some injections are okay. It Okay, so now, I've been there. Let's just go into a slideshow. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, now, so we did. So Dr. Kamara.
Yes.
Yes, I've been wanting to let you touch on just inhalers and the other one, and just very briefly, we'll get for be very careful with and all that.
Yeah, as I say, the oral tablets definitely no. The capsules no. Parenteral nutrition, again, if you did on that, mandated, even necessarily get for, because most of the time when you do on that, they put food through the tube, the food pipe will go into the belly, into the stomach. So therefore, that they out, you're exempt. Suppositories, obviously, because they go to the bloodstream, that they're not very clear. The injections, again, if not things to do with letting out of blood, like for example, they get sick the way you go for let the blood out, or you go for donate blood, mandated for fast, or you can delay your donation to a time where the fast. Because what you do, if you take one unit away from you, it can make you feel a bit dizzy. There's no question about that, and they don't want you for suffer that. So therefore, anything we get for do with that, they don't go want you for that. Injections in general, where they go na the skin, na the waist, then not a problem. But the one we get for go into the bloodstream, where then they put a cannula for inject you with something, then they not go allow you for fast at all. Nasal drops, as long as the drop they touch the back of the throat, they not allow you for fast, because then they make you break the fast. If not just sniffing it, a different thing. But if you touch them go at the back of the throat, then definitely. Ear drops, no problem. As long as you not reach the throat, because waiting do people don't know say the tube day connection day between the ears and the throat, we then call eustachian tube. So sometimes people can get tonsillitis, where the tonsils or the infection of the throat can bad. It can go up through the tube and go into the ears, and again from the ears it can come to the throat. So anybody will get that kind of thing, they can say you're not allowed for fast. The inhalers, as I say, as long as you not touch the throat, then that's now one thing. But then sometimes the inhaler they get for touch the throat, so they can use the spacer. I know people know that big thing, plastic thing, where they can use by them picking there. Then they can help with the thrush. They can happen because sometimes the people use inhaler because they get steroids, it can cause thrush at the back of the throat. So for reduce that, they can actually allow that spacer there. So actually the thing itself may reach the throat as bad as when it did direct, And obviously, if there's any issues, then maybe you can check with the GP or maybe the mosque we they attend. But if I make any errors, forgive me for that. But that's what I know. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I can add one more thing about inhalers. Now then they push for dry powder inhalers. So dry powder inhalers not get liquid. So hopefully if you're able to use the technique of dry powder inhalers, it no give that doubtful problem there because liquid not daily. Okay, so general considerations will get long-term condition. Like I would say, make sure you eat well anyway, like I don't talk before. Then also when you take medication, take them in the morning or evening, if not once a day dose, whichever one suited and whichever one they advise you for do, whichever way they advise you to do best. And diabetes people always go for education, supporting whose decision they make. Right, then we'll get hypertension, for example, as well. It's best for go with one daily long-acting medication. It's okay for taking medication one morning to the next, or one evening to the next, if not even you don't use what they can. But then they on diuretics. Diuretics are medication, they pull water for drain water in your body, because sometimes waterlogged, either hypertension or even heart failure. Then it can best let you know they on it. But if it's necessary for be on it, for example, a heart failure patient, you probably no need for fast, so you get for talk to your GP or specialist for let see what you can get for do about that for advice, because diuretics is very important in some hypertensive patients and heart failure and other conditions. For let continue. Hypothyroidism, like what we don't talk before, to the thyroid, and they take thyroids, I've been not discussed before, 30 minutes before food, and no other medication should be taken at the same time. Osteoporosis, some of the medication they do, they take once a week, sometimes once a day, where you get for take 30 minutes fasting and you get for remain upright. So you don't take out there, you go lay down. Because if you lodge in the throat, it causes what you call necrosis inside the throat. So no one Monday. So now for pay attention to all them advice that yeah, go revisit the kind of medication where you get. Asthma, doctor don't mention again already. Depression, if you get out, like I say earlier, make sure you take them morning or evening. Mostly I take it in the morning, continue for take them. Not if you say because you fast, you feel better. Then you get the other indication why they take medication, not necessarily chronic illness. So for women, they will need for be on the contraception because then they try for do family planning. Then for make sure so they continue for take them the same time every day. So if not even 10 days they take them before bed, continue for take them, you don't cut you fast that 10 days. Or you take them in the morning, if not that 10 days before you begin your fast. Then they not interrupt because we know what can happen when you get missed pill. Okay, medical procedures, like how doctor don't touch on already. Having blood tests generally not they cause a problem for way they fast, but sometimes the blood test now if lots of blood tests and get for blood they get for take, so it's best that you defer and postpone that kind of procedure. But then they do blood glucose testing, like I've been said, and they will do insulin, glycoside, for example. They can do the finger prick testing, not a problem. A very tiny amount of blood you need into the machine. So if you need for continue for do that, not say, oh, I know they do it because they fast. You need for do and let you know how much insulin you need for give yourself, you know, especially during the time where you know where you fast. Where you know they fast will not expect you for take, but the time where they fast will not expect you for take insulin anyway. But the time where you need for just check because of the glycoside where they take, for example, or you just need for see your sugar levels there because they actually monitor the actual fasting, the effect upon you, then they not they nullify the fast because that's what they say, the scholars they say, gonna small drop of blood, now they come out by you. Right, so generally, all fasting persons for advice for eat healthy and balanced, like how Fatima don't talk as well. All man for try for eat in the morning. Is as push it as late as possible before the sun rise. In the evening, now for even rush for break the fast, like how the Professor Salambi don't even tell we. Then exercise, just maintain your normal activity, but if you're able to exercise after you don't done. Then they will adjust the medication, like how don't say, make sure say you go back after Ramadan to maybe your usual regime. Again, you go back for review with your doctor or your specialist. So if you cannot go safely from dawn, from the morning where you start, even till you break your fast, if you're not able to be safe within yourself, once you get a condition and day, if you're not able to be safe, you're not able to take your medication. If it causes you not able to take your medication because you fast, you will probably think twice if you need for fast. Speak with your imam, what if the other options that we need for do. I'll speak to your doctor as well as to what if for do if you're able to adjust your medication. If the doctor say you're not able to adjust your medication, for fast, you for listen to the doctor. If you can adjust the medication, like I said earlier, if not instant release medication, i.e. as you take cancer, you don't go into the bloodstream not too long after, normally. Then go look into, pharmacists can look into for suggesting with the GP or even the GP or anybody else who they care for you. Say, well, let's take slow release one. Not take modified release one. Okay, well, they take long, certain once a day, no more you go take them. If the medication are twice a day, you can take them. Then you want to go once a day. If long acting one day, go for then can suggest that if it's suitable for you. If not 3 times a day, then go tell you, say, cut the middle dose, take the morning and even we're able for it. If it's suitable, if you're not suitable, medication or they will suit your condition, maybe not for consider whether you for fast or not. So generally consider the illness, consider your welfare, and also yes, God let for law do what he command we, when at the same God back the sorry for
long acting. So the long acting you can do in terms of the insulin, way for manage you until the time where you can cut fast. That's important. And of course, make sure say you don't talk to the GP before this thing happened, this fast begin, because that's the way where you go actually then say a stitch in time saves 9. If you don't talk to the GP because you get for do them on an individual basis, not to one size fit all, anybody we get in sick, obviously they know how they manage them, and are the best people then for manage them, rather than you get for end up in A&E because sometimes you don't look into them. So now you get at least 2 weeks for looking to them, and then agree a plan going forward. And I should say then go tell you, say, if this not suit you, then come back to we, or if at all na emergency, come na A&E. That's now one thing for always bear in mind, say we always get the option for them to take you as emergency. So I think say with sister, sometimes they get problem with the internet. So therefore, we go stop here. We don't get enough of the take-home messages and the talk. Definitely me, I enjoy them. But now we go open to questions. So I go hand over to the host with no other person than Mr. John Fuller for making take me through the session for questions and answers. Thank you very much, and apologies for the technical issues.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kama, and thank you very much, Ms. Aminata Jalloh. If I hear they call Ms. Aminata Jalloh, Mama, na because na Mama I name me get. All right, so plenty thank you for your patience and apologies once more. Yeah, Mr. Dabo, before I say anything, I'll go to you question first.
Yeah, thanks very much, Sister Amina. That was a brilliant one, honestly. You touch on things and where, some of we not begin to forget, and some we they carry age small, we don't they can't, to a point where the thing anymore we are going for no, like the one way they suffer from gastric ulcer, will not mention now than they because so then they're on medication, they're on medication, so they not even know. And then also like we can't talk about the food side, Sister Fatima. Thanks very much for the brilliant suggestion on the portion of food that we're supposed to take. Where now 1 whole month down they would recommend for like people that will begin eat smaller portions and waiting for breakfast, which you recommend dates and things that we get fiber. But we will come out, you will find out say we will not get dates inside in there at all. What people that can cut fast food from beginning to end, now then carbohydrate here. What thing you go recommend for places like a country then the way they strain would even forget a daily meal? More like a winner have for who will manage yourself, but one that within like a salon and more like then deep side of them village there. If you tell them about tamaro, they don't even know what's not down there, they don't even know. So what's not the kind of fiber then way? So if you don't live there inside the day, it will be difficult for Lego. No, but I don't know no more if you go able to help you down there. Thank you. And the gastric side, I go on for Sister Amina, I'll talk to you on for if you're able, please. Thank you.
Sorry, so you, Uncle, now you did talk, Uncle John.
Yes, okay. Mr. Dabo. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So so I'm not really understand your question. I think say you say some Boku people then sometimes are upline then small village then no they able forget food the way not normal carbohydrates. Now then deny you ask. So nothing else than go able for.
No, not just you
Fatima, if I can come in.
Yes,
they say that there are times inside the day that's what they call tamar. When I dates, they don't know what's the name of that. So they don't get that in abundance. They don't get time for cut fast way.
Okay.
Well, if you recommend something like that, then any alternative the way rich in fiber will not necessarily mean say you can forget the tamari, you know, the dates.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because I know waiting that name means. So now I know be understand. So thank you, Uncle
That's okay.
God. Yeah, so you know, I mean, say, you know, then therefore take dates specifically, you know, then normal because it gets good minerals where they're able for replenish them. But even if then they eat normal fruits, then they go able for replenish them minerals, because all other fruit then gets potassium, like banana gets potassium. You know, then papaya go get other, you know, vitamin A, then where they're able to replenish them. So not to mean say, and then it gets boku fiber. All then fruits them they then get then high in fiber. But yeah, you know, I mean, say like they therefore eat that date specifically, but a good thing where then go able for replenish them body with, and that's something where it match with the Muslim you know, practice where they break them fast and they eat the dates. So now I recommend say then a good thing for include them. But if they not get on there, any other fruits then we get high fiber like so. It good because they go able for replenish then minerals stuff with down the back. Not dying that.
Yeah, but for top dollar, Padabo, you know, not just recommendation. By no means, you know, restrictive to that. If you look at pawpaw or the papaya, it's very rich in a lot of things. In fact, it's absolutely recommended for blood pressure and things like that. You know, orange, you know, banana gets, you know, a lot of vitamin C panam, and of course, it gets the potassium panam. So if you go down, sometimes something to do diuretic, then potassium, they're very rich in banana, and they get fiber as well. You know, Bεtε as it were, obviously, if you boil them nicely. So there's a lot of things where you can alternate with. You know, as long as you get the fruits and a light thing, there shouldn't be a problem with that. You don't necessarily get for me, say, tamari. So Monday, even they tell you, say, you forgot fast with the date and the milk. Now, milk, that's so they be recommended by Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But I guarantee you, if me take milk in a cold, you know, hungry belly, well, I'm in trouble. So, you know, you find out, say, you do them for actually suit. You never can say one size not fit all. You know what I mean? Do the thing will actually, you know, fit you. You know, now you know your body. If you go to your GP self, it will actually give you the platform, say, hang on, waiting they work well for you. And so therefore, that thing will suit you, now you for take. Even when they talk about tamar, I know a brother where if you take tamar, yeah, well, later didn't know now, that probably may get with him belly. You know what I mean? So you know, go say, you know, say, Papa, pass that person, they take her. If you don't suit time, you not go take her. No, but alternatives, then the way they plenty apply. There's no questions about that. All right. With thank you. With the issue of the gastric ulcer, again, the gastric ulcer, I don't know if you know about that, because now where you get a lot of acid, yeah, where the Bεtε they produce, the cells they within the Bεtẹ they produce, now they make that cell they born, we cause the irritation that the lining. Some people in the way get the hiatus hernia, where they don't know say they get them. You know what I mean? Where I mean, if you look at the food pipe, you get a narrowing at the bottom, just before it becomes the stomach. Then call under the lower esophageal sphincter. Now they relax for make the food will come up from the top where you don't charm, come through the food pipe into the belly. Then after it don't go inside the belly, it close back. Yeah. The reason for that is because higher up, inside the food pipe begin from the mouth go down to the throat. Yeah. Then they get very mild substance when away they have for digestive food they push them down. Whereas I see it pass inside that lower sphincter this so we reach the belly, you get a very strong acid. And that acid there, if you touch your hand, just you put under your hand, it can burn the hand. That's how strong it is. You know what I mean? It's not like hydrochloric, you know, that sulfuric acid, that's what it turns. So therefore, if that person get a hiatus hernia, and then the thing we don't mix, the food we don't mix with the acid come up, like how they show me fingers, so you come out from the belly, come up through that place there, it burn that part there because within that part they're not supposed to mix. So that part they forget mild, and then bottom forget really, you know, severe one. If they mix, then it can cause that burning. And when you burn them, just like how you get burned if you want water touch you, now so that thing they get for heal. So it will cause you pain. Yeah. And of course, the person they produce too much acid, it can cause problem again, they burn them. So therefore, they can give you tablet for reduce that production of the acid, they for give you a protection of the lining. We then call PPI, where one point of them so you know omeprazole, lansoprazole, pantoprazole, and the other one. Yeah. then they help. Or some people can take ranitidine, some people can take Gaviscon. You know what I mean? All that thing they did for everything, you know. But of course, we nice for them, we know, waiting for avoid. Then pepper. So man, if you eat pepper now, you back the film. You know what I mean? You can for avoid that thing. Then you get acid, you know, like then tangerine, you know, nectarines and things like that. Lemon, ginger, cloves, all that thing that they were really hot, peppery. Now for try and avoid them, you know, especially when the belly day don't they empty all day long. Then, most important, this is it. How for eat? Absolutely vital, because what you do, the belly don't they angry all day, it shrink. You now wait to go cut for say, what this one? Now for go Panamo, yeah? You begin you begin take 2, 3, 4, you know what I mean? And then the belly don't full up now to the point where they that sphincter day, you know, that line. So obviously, as you go to for pray that way, the thing come up. You know what I mean? Then it begin burn you. So clearly you need to know how to eat. I mean, they say we the cut first, make a light. You understand? When you don't Tarawih, you can come now and eat proper food, you know. But even then, after you don't eat, not go to bed straight away. You need 30 minutes to an hour for allow the food for digest. So all that in the day, now small nuggets, small snippets, but they help a lot towards a healthy lifestyle throughout the month.
Yeah, thank you very much. Wow, it's a double clap, so it means it happened. All right, any more questions?
One message be there at the chat, Uncle John, about MRI scan.
Okay, you say if you go for MRI scan, is it okay for let you still continue with your fasting?
Yeah, the MRI scan is just a scan for look the body. If at all they tell you say let you not eat, so it's even better for let you fast. The MRI scan with a magnetic resonance imaging. Now for look not only the bone, for example, na the arm or na the foot or na the leg, but they look at the muscles and the tendons and the ligaments there as well. So that not stop you from fasting. You can fast with that. There's no question. Almost the MRI is different from the CT scan because the MRI sometimes will take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. Sometimes it will take 1 hour, you know. And it's different from the CT scan where you go take maybe a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you don't know. You know, but that not get any impact on the fasting. You can fast anytime if you're able for do them. Again, I say now if you able, because the God who deserves sabi what you keep inside and sabi what you bring out. So if they see we all and you know that you for keep fast or not for keep fast. So if you're able, then definitely the MRI not will stop you for keep fast.
Okay, one question I want to ask you. Some medication and the person will take, we get high concentration of sugar, some sort of supplement where you can class as food. So if you fast, you allow for take such?
Yeah, anything we get water, anything we in a liquid, not for pass then lips then. No, neither for pass through the nose.
So even though, so if you get for take such medication, you get for break your fast for that day or not?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is it. That's what I try to say. The guidelines are clear. They're so friendly to the human being. Let's see how God creates people, then how he like immortal man we create. It makes them so easy for you that you know within yourself what you're able for doing, what you're capable of doing. Imagine somebody where they go play sports for a country other side, not the world. You know what I mean? You're allowed for break the fast. You know? When you don't done that, then you can make up for that. I see Mr. Dabo, they talk about belching.
Yeah, just one good day. And for people with hay fever, you allow for use nasal spray during fasting?
Well, as we don't talk on this, I said the nasal spray, as far as I know, as long as you not touch the back of the throat, because you see the nasal spray are just at the front here for actually shrink the lining of the nose if you get allergy. And most of the time, you get tablets a week you take for helping with that. You get what is it called chlorphenamine.
Yeah,
you know, when a Piriton. That day you can take them 3 times a day, and then you get the one when once a day. But the Piriton can make you drowsy, and you get for take them multiple times. So most people when they take the medication now because they get for take them 2, 3, 4 times. But if you get one week, they take 1 10 no more, then you don't get a problem. You know what I mean? And then you don't make you drowsy. I think still that preferable. So then get one we then call loratadine and desloratadine. Now that day if you take them now 1 time a day, so you can take out some time before you begin keep the fast. or when you cut fast, you know, if at all you feel, say, you're not clear about the nasal spray, you know, you can do that. But it can accommodate you because what you do, it allow you for let you day for a whole day without the allergy. However, if you need for take and you know, say at this particular point in time, like how the season they cancel, they get injections when they give as well for help towards that before the season begin. I don't know if you know about that.
No, as you know, me always I get it and sneeze.
Well, this is it. They get injections when they give as well for help for combat. You know, when the season comes, for try for prepare you towards that. That's a good thing. So you can do that before you begin the fasting. You know.
I want to make this a religious program. Family owner, forgive me, but I'm sure some of you would ask this question are saying, so if somebody gets for do that, I get for take any of the medication and as a consequence, they get for break them fast, they need for pay that debt they back, given that they may don't start already, they go need for pay the debt, or is it acceptable to say, you know, it's a natural cause and we get for break? Just a little bit on that.
Well, that's a good question. I like that. The trouble is, I think the schools of thought say, if you don't keep fast over half of the day, for example, yeah, and then accidentally you go drink water, like at the very beginning of the fasting, some man don't used to that idea, say, for drink water, for eat anything. You understand? If you then they drink the water, then you realize, oh, hang on, oh, I suppose for the fast, they say, let you spit that part the way you realize, say you don't begin keep fast, spit them out, and then carry on with the fasting. Yeah. Obviously the food as well. As long as you don't begin eat, that's not a problem. But you get to the point where you realize it, hang on, no, I did fast. That not break you fast. Because waiting to God, no waiting between the inside your heart saying a mistake you make. And so therefore, they say make you spit out waiting, you don't get that much after. You don't come to the realization, say, I did keep fast, then you go and, you know, wash your mouth. You know what I mean? You just swell the mouth out and then obviously continue with the fasting. That's not a problem. But if you ever get for break the fast, be it because of illness or any other situation, like human ways, until the team come on in the middle of, you know, the period come in the middle of the fasting, yes, you're allowed for break the fast and then make up for that. Now, like I say, you know, ideally, better lay do them when you still there in that particular mode, i.e. that situation where you don't say, I continue for fast because now I reflect. The moment you go back to normal eating patterns, then it becomes a bit more of a task, a bit more of a challenge. But if you don't get that at all, then you get a good 11 months for make up for that.
Okay. If I'm I know say yes now, fasting and medicine will deal with more, but just want to touch on this next question because this way, Mr. Dabo asked so about belching. That's something we, I don't know if we cousin we don't play foul or whatever, but anyways, almost midday, I remember the belch. So,
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. So now, Mr. What I say, if you belch and you smell the oil or the food, you know, obviously when you belch, something they will get a flavor of the stuff we don't eat. I don't know how long you go take in the day though, where somebody go steal the belch about 2 o'clock because it be the belch about 2, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah. My coco.
And I said so. So in that instance, what happens?
Again, as I say, belching not nullify you fast. Waiting nullify you fast now regurgitation. I want you to know the difference between that. So belching now when you get, you know, like when you eat, when you swallow, you get air where you swallow with the food. All right. And so waiting to happen here, the food, of course, because it's heavy, according to gravity, they go down. Yeah. Whereas the air now, the fending way up because it's light. It's as simple as that. So the air way, the fending way up, now you for bring out. If in the process of doing so, because you get maybe, as I say, I don't understand, say everybody without exception get hiatus hernia. One way or the other, you get up. But sometimes they degrade them different. You know, one day way mild, way maybe non-existent until something happened to them, or the one way you really affect them, you know. And it's a say, and if you affect them, someday they make them so bad that they get for need surgery. That's one thing I know. However, if you then forcefully, deliberately force this food for come back into your throat, into your mouth for make you feel say you don't eat, that obviously nullifies you fast.
Okay.
So I hope so that clear. It's a simple belching in no way, shape, or form, non nullify you fast at all.
As long as you don't bear trauma around 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like,
yeah, but then they own that different story. We got to look into that.
Okay, another question. The person say if they take what? Boss.
Yeah, levothyroxine. Yeah, levothyroxine.
What's it level?
Yeah, levothyroxine. I don't see the question. Yeah. Amisulpride. Yeah. Schizophrenia. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Levothyroxine, obviously. As my colleague then they obviously they were helping with that. But levothyroxine that way they take for replace that hormone where that gland within the neck here, at the front of the neck, where if you they underactive, then get that you then call gege. I think that people are going to understand them as that gege in the throat, So clearly the levothyroxine in your way they act and for try for replace within that organ they're not able for make for himself, either because of surgery or because of the fact that you get some other sick pan and way and make them inactive or underactive. So the term for take is one thing. And I make you need for sit down with the GP, as I said, Dr. Today with me at the CM. You can actually sit down and discuss the merits of taking it another time, wait until the 10 week the cut fast, or take them before you begin keep the fast. But and as far as I know, now one time for day they take the levothyroxine. The amisulpride, again, that's another one we definitely they maintain, anti psychotic, I think that mood stabilizer as well or something. I'm not sure with the winner. But as far as I know, amisulpride definitely again another medication where a tablet you take. So if I for let you sit down with the GP for make it take you through how for change this thing for suit the kind of thing where they embark on. Remember, now 29, 30 days. After that, you can probably go back to how you've been there. No questions about that. But if at all then they get for ambog you, I sure say the GP go tell you say if you begin feel wrong, i.e., if you get this schizophrenia, it begin worsen for you, the symptoms they come up, you feel really bad, then of course the underactive thyroid, you begin feel the same symptoms where if you not take the thyroxine, that's why you go there, then obviously they go advise you not for take, not for keep the fast or not for alter the tender way they take the medication. Therefore, then give you an option, say you can feed somebody with the fast for the duration of the time when they take the tablet. So for 29, 30 days, you can sponsor somebody with the fast, like in iftar. If na 10 pong, 8 pong, 5 pong, or whatever, give to that person. So in total, 5 pong multiplied by 30, you get the amount and send and go. You see? Yeah, that's it. The person they tell me, yeah. So if they say if the symptoms are active, then they say no for MISAM. That's what I've just said. So clearly, if your symptoms then they bug you, then you now one of the people in way or the category way not for keep fast. Therefore, the option they say you can feed somebody with the fast, or you can make somebody fast for you and then you break him fast for them. It's as simple as that. But so please.
I can make somebody fast for me?
Yes.
Okay.
But only, see, I know you jump at that.
Hey, I want you fast for me.
No, only if you're not able to keep the fast.
Oh. Right. Dr. Bell, I don't know if you want to lean a little bit for Giwi some idea when it comes to woman pregnancy and stuff and this fasting, which thing will be your advice from a medical perspective? Dr. Bell?
Yes.
Yes, boss. Sorry I drop you in it.
Yeah, good evening, and thank you to Mrs. for the wonderful talk. I'm very educative, and Dr. Kamara also, I don't learn a lot. Concerning fasting and pregnancy, there gets a lot of studies which show fasting not they affect pregnancy. They get to I go through a lot of papers there which show that, especially from England as well, where they should say fasting not they affect pregnancy, but it's as Dr. Kamara said, say if woman gets belly and for fast, then get for fast. Yeah, but the one the way one for duam, they don't do studies, and the studies don't show say they affect the baby at all, and the weight of the baby they affect at all, they affect the woman in pregnancy at all. So if a woman, because of in faith one duam, it can duam, but as Dr. Kamara don't say, obliged for duam. And concerning the MRI way Dr. Kamai will talk about, I think say most, I don't know if the person will try for us, say if we get for drink any I don't think call it in English, I think we get a contrast solution.
Yeah.
If you get for drink contrast solution, most likely then a part of breaking the fast, so that means say you're not supposed to fast because you don't drink contrast solution.
Very true. Correct. Yeah.
For Abu Amara, I'm sure they don't answer your question about inhalers and other medicine and stuff. Dr. Ture, I know she don't be quiet, they listen to it. Is there anything that we want to add on to this? You know, for helping people and for them to understand, and I am when for seek medical advice, maybe, because a lot of people in the way, more so, well, for who they are inside there, we get the facility for let we see with doctors, but sometimes we can prefer for go by we own understanding, or sometimes again you get some of we religious leaders the way you want and can put a message, you can tell like say you're uncompromising that you get for do this or that's it. So wait till you go advise people you went for let them seek GP advice and stuff like that when it comes to stuff like this. Wait till your advice.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you, Dr. Kamal. Thank you, Ms. Jalloh, for the very good presentation. We don't learn at all. So you don't listen a lot, you don't learn a lot. There are quite a few questions that we then raise. One seems for answer the other, right? So I'm not going to repeat that, but maybe we will just need for breaking down in a nutshell for let people understand, especially when it comes to medication. See so many questions there around that. Firstly, for the fasting in the UK, most Muslims them we not diabetic, although it's not mandatory, then they still fast 70 to 80%. Now the advice is before you fast, at least 4 to 6 weeks before, it will find you make an appointment with your doctor for let you go through with you your medications the way you they take. The medications the way you they take, and also your condition based on your individual conditions, your comorbidities for see if fasting good for you. I know say we just get 1 week or so or less before 10 days or 12 days before the fasting. You still not late it for see your doctor, but let you see your individual conditions and see if you're able for fast. And secondly, if you not be done fast before we tell you condition, then you can do a trial fasting 1 or 2 days before the actual fasting come. Now, when it comes to medication, of course, Dr. Kamado highlights the one the way they break the fast, we know they break the fast. Now, with the oral medications, if you condition and entitle you for take just one medication a day, I don't think that they will impede you fasting, will stop you fasting. Because now one thing you take them and prophets mostly they say preferably take them in the evening, when you do breakfast. Okay. Now, if you take them twice a day, you have done the even easy. You take in the morning, and then take in the evening. So we call that 2 times ends of the day. Now, when you take on 3 times a day, then sometimes you need adjustment. For instance, I will talk about diabetes shortly, but then there's question they ask about the thyroxine and levothyroxine. Yeah, we know if you take on 30 minutes before you start fast. However, most people find it really difficult for wake up in the morning, 30 minutes before, 1 hour before you take the medication, you go again, and then after that, I get for it another 30 minutes before you eat, so coldly and all that, and they find it difficult. So then they can either be said, they try to wake now, they don't wake late, so you can end up for either take the medication with food or you not take the medication at all. So according to some studies we then publish even in a PubMed, say, and for circumvent that, if you you get a problem there, you can take them during bedtime. Okay, we know we take them during bedtime, and we know say levothyroxine, other things, then they will go impede in absorption, like iron medication and all. That's why I make them say you know for take them together. with their medication, even with PPI, or you can take on where they sleep. Now, when it comes to the diabetic, where they take medication 3 times, I think Ms Jalloh don't talk about that. Say if you take on 3 times, you get for adjustance. So according to some studies, says you take at least 1/3 of them in the morning, then 2/3 of them with the breakfast. Okay, so if you take like say metformin 500 milligram 3 times a day, you take the 500 milligram in the morning where they breakfast, where they start fast, and then the 1 gram, the lunch and nighttime one, you take them where they breakfast. So then that's where they adjust the metformin. And so the same goes with the sulfonylureas, the glycoside and all the rest. You mostly they take them in the evening where say that you don't eat, especially for avoid the hypoglycemic effect. If you they take things like GLP-2 inhibitors or pioglitazone, and you don't need adjustment at all. You can continue for take the medication and although
okay. Those are today internet don't go first for a bit. If I'm just a quick reminder, there's a poll where they go around and they ask the GLA on answer if I can help you answer any question because as soon as I know when they come towards Ramadan and around this time when we do the program, it can approach the time when I can break fast. So it go better for we get to our input on first of all how the session go. And also ask about the times and the days they will for do the session. So please, if I can help with that, it will help we make an informed decision. So at least whatever we decide for do going forward, we know say okay, that's something we will be suitable for now. When they say 100% we will do, but at least then we get something we will guide with decision. Okay. Another question, quick one, before we finish because we don't almost reach 1/2 is that if somebody if woman they breastfeed. Which on advice in whether if I continue doing breastfeeding while they fast, and one if I fast and 2 if I continue with breastfeeding.
Yeah, I talk about this. I don't know sometimes not being catch up now. Again, breastfeeding, Bokuma then they really breastfeed and then able for fast at the same time. Yeah, it not necessarily means you're supposed for fast if you breastfeed, if at all you're able to cope with that. If you're able to cope, then a lot of women they're able to breastfeed and fast as well. So again, it depends on which fit your body and how you feel, because clearly the breastfeeding maybe you get to do 6-7 times, and all that. Then obviously it takes it away, it takes it out of you. It takes a lot from you. So therefore, you get to decide which way they go, in terms of how you feel. But other than that, you're not obligated, say you're supposed to fast if you're not able for. That's not the precondition.
Yeah.
If you're able, there's no reason why you know for do it.
Yeah, not just can inside that one day back as well. It depends on the baby in age as well, because obviously if not that very young baby, that baby get for feed constantly. But if the pikin don't say they go nursery, because some comrade and they then go feed them pikin, then say the pikin they go nursery. If you think about the length of time where the comrade away from the pikin, that pikin they suck Bobby all that ending now anyway. So so that break the day. So that kind of person the way that comrade way just the way in pikin don't big small, but still the breastfeed. I don't think say it get for affect it get for affect that breastfeeding waiting if the person the fast. Now we camp on like like mental health medication, like for depression, for antidepressants them. In many cases now, one time they take antidepressants anyway. So if you try for take first thing, where they early morning, then now they take them back now. Taste maybe to say the next day, right? Now the antipsychotics them obviously then they're very important for just like how Alma don't talk with every medication for sit down with your doctor and talk about it, because some people in day one day no more you miss your medication. It creates a lot of problem for them. The mental health sometimes they feel already for say this is not right. You understand? So it's fine for like you talk with your doctor, learn see if now prolonged medication, because again nearly every sickness, including mental health, then get prolonged medication the way you go take once a day or so it's about that non-negotiation the way you go negotiate with your doctor for say if you get long release medication for like I take within this short period of time, that 4 weeks there, for like if you want for continue with fasting. If nothing where they go cause you a lot of problem, then just like you don't all the doctors, they don't say you don't have to, you know. So
right, on the last question is say, thank you very much, Auntie Rugi. The last question I will take today because really we don't run out of time. How long, this is for Auntie Fatima, how long porridge the last I believe before it digests, especially for over 60s?
I'm sorry, but that question there, I'm not able to answer. To be quite honest, I'd left on to maybe one of the more, higher academics in the room, because I don't know, then I research neither for, look for see waiting at the effects of the blood sugar level after the person don't eat that porridge, especially in that age group. So me myself, I don't get that knowledge. So maybe somebody else in the group go get that knowledge there, but yeah, I don't know. I no go can lie. So I know that there. Sorry, but
well, why don't I wait for one point, Dr. to answer? Mr. Tui, I will come to you. Kelfala, I will come to you. Just give me 1 minute. Let me answer this question, then I will ask you for unmute. Okay? Yeah, and somebody will answer this question quick for me, please. Is it dependent on the individual in metabolism? What is it?
Yeah.
You just don't hit the nail on the head. Somebody who gets low metabolism, obviously, could find them a bit again. Find them a bit again the age. Somebody who athletic, somebody who really get fast metabolism, obviously go digest the food faster. There's no question about that. Again, the age is another thing. Somebody who elderly in your digestion obviously is slower than somebody who younger. Again, depend on the kind of porridge where they eat and which you put by the porridge. That's another thing. They can make the length of the time or the way they fend that the tract could take longer. Imagine say most of the cellulose, all the vegetables, they take a lot longer for digest. So obviously they take a lot slower time on the tract for making way to the large bowel where they go actually make the motions the way you go past later on. So it all depends, as I say, on an individual thing. People they know themselves. Say in the morning, they can say if you take porridge, obviously for one, they stave off the need for further, topping up of which you need. That's one thing with the advantage there. So when I make the advice for take down because the hunger, the pangs of hunger and the need for top up will be less compared to if you take something else. You know what I mean? And so that's the kind of thing. But it differs from person to person and of course from the age and of course on the gender as well. So all of these are factors that we can add to that. I don't know if I did make any sense.
Yeah.
And just to add to Dan back, well, thank you, Uncle Doc, because now you go able for put in plain terms and good terms for let you understand. But also the reason that because in a complex carb, so it's more difficult for the body for actually digest them. Now make either able for get that slow release of sugar in the bloodstream. Now make then they say for eat than the during Ramadan because you go able to give you that slow release of that sugar so that stabilize you throughout the day. So that make them they say than they. But I think Sebi say also about how you go able to balance your diet with it entail. The most important thing you therefore get the 5 food group them. You fruit and veg, you protein, you carbohydrate, you dairy. And then also, you oil and fats, but not all small amounts. The oil and fats not small amounts, but then the other big thing where sometimes the other session now we go able for do then they. But then the 5 main thing the way they include for the balance of the diet and the food them when they eat. So now then the number we want to add. But thank you so much, Uncle Doc, and Auntie Rugi for the input.
Thank you very much, Auntie Fatima. I will put you down for the next session. You go be my last question. I'll take your last question for today.
Yes, I want to tell my thank you more especially Dr. Kamara for this program and the first time this. I really appreciate now all. Me and Lungi Masuila.
Thank you.
Sierra Leone.
Thank you.
So I ask but this fast, say most people when they fast, the throat can dry. I just want to ask those water really fit for drink. We want cut fast, either cold water or either hot water. Anyone part there whose benefit gets, whose medical benefits we get, we either for drink cold water, we want cut fast, or either we drink hot water. So now this now I just want to ask them.
Thank you so much for that. You know, with Nami in-law, I'm so grateful for your attendance. I said, thank you so much, Okomi. Now, the question we ask very important. I can always tell people and say, just think about the belly. Again, we talk about that. When somebody they cut fast, you know, they hold the belly don't shrink. The way you didn't for go cut fast, you go back. So wait, and then the belly can't swell. You end up now. For go pray, Tarawih, for go nafila self, no problem. You know what I mean? You put now and that. So I can always tell people and say, imagine, say we talk and say the liver, now the main organ where they work on this fasting. So all the extra carbohydrates they eat, they go stored in the liver, now like a bank. So when you can't now you need to eat like I they eat through a day, that bank then now you get for go take called dead pan now. And that bank then they break down then small thing where they give you the energy, where they keep you going throughout the day. So in so doing, because the belly they get the glucose where you need, now the brain they get them because the brain get for keep going even though the fast they eat, they drink. So now when you can't cut fast, imagine say the belly don't shrink all day. Then you go put cold water pan. What thing they happen when you put cold water pan for body? They shiver, they shrink. So what you need that something we warm, we not to say for burn you throat or for be so hot. You know what I mean? Something warm. We at least go begin stretch the belly small, so that when they eat, the blood no come more from the brain, go to the gut then. Because any time we action then at the body, the blood they go. So imagine when the blood come on at the brain, go to the gut because now the action needed. At the time the person they begin feel sleepy. So if you do them gradually, obviously they benefit from that. But if you go put cold water pan, well, obviously they cause more problems for her. So advisably, I will take warm water and cut fast, not too cold water.
I can add something as well. We will not experience 10, 14, 13, 18 hours of fasting. You realize you're full of air as well, wind. So so if you go put cold water pan now, you get a lot of indigestion symptoms by the time you eat done. You're not able to settle, you know, because the air they don't trap somewhere in the middle, you know. So it can best take hot water. You can just make sure say you pass them through the back passage or you burp. So it can better for take warm water. So I concur with what Dr. Don't say as well. It can better.
Thank you very much, I really don't be patient. And thank you for all the kind words. I don't say how much I enjoy the show and how well the show be. I don't enjoy, I'm gonna pass the message. And a very big compliment to Auntie Fatima, people and colleague. So my family we don't come to an end. And they can ask the panelists them for each of them give now a short last word for today. Auntie Aminata, what's the last word for people then, please?
I think I've been mentioned briefly, I think saying at the Lent season this. So I think Dr. Ture can get something to add to that.
Okay. Yeah, I will make you do that the way it is.
Yeah. So maybe, but that's all. I think I don't say enough. Otherwise, I just want that bit the normal. Thank you
very much. Yes, sir.
Yeah, make a big party. Mr. Kamara and Andy of Abu Kamara, please, as an exception.
Okay, I'll come to
Abu.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Abu? Mr. Kamara?
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, what's
the question, sir?
Well, not a question. I was just this is my first time where I attend the session. I enjoy it very much. You know, there was a time when I been there before. Now today my students is there teaching us. So I feel so happy. And for telling them all, many thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for being a brilliant student.
Thank you.
Dr. Bell, what's the last one for people today?
I tell them thank you, really enjoying and listen to this wonderful session. We've done prepare ourselves for Ramadan, and also as 15 suggested, also for the Lent season. I hope say we were able to take this message to other people as well. And if when I get any question, as TJK always say, feel free for contact we. And also, please feel free for share this session. But the session will be on YouTube as well. Feel free for share the session. Feel free for also share other sessions them video on YouTube. I will tell you all thank you and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. I'll go to Auntie Fatima. Do you polish the crew for Ufamba?
They try. I think say they for go salon for 1 month for brush up me KRIO, but I did try. So when I thank you for when I come for the talk, Auntie Amina, I really learned beaucoup today, and also Uncle Doc and all the other panelists and the team. When I thank you,
Thank you very much, Auntie Ugi. You still there with me?
Yes, yeah, just to say thank you first of all for all my way join and for the panelists and for the presentation, because it opened a lot of people then hear them, and all man don't talk everything anyway, for say, for join the session them as much as possible and for help beside people and can, so that the message goes spread more and more, and for always not say, well, the Bεtẹ plus Gentri.
Thank you. Dr. Ture?
Yes, I say thank you to everybody for when I join. I don't know if our network will happen, but definitely I think they don't highlight everything. I think Ms Jalloh talk about say Lent again there on, so the Christians and safely observe the same, fasting, in a varied way. So I think this message will go for everybody, basically, whether you find yourself in any of the religion where they fasting are the same. We don't talk about medication. We don't talk, say, you get for see your own doctor. But I think one key thing where I think we hammer home here is that everybody we more geared towards saying no fast, no fast, no fast, no fast, right? But I just maybe deviate a little bit. Say, let we take, for instance, an analogy, say, the man will make a mobile phone, yeah? He know the ins and outs of the mobile phone. He know when he wants send message, if the mobile phone insists and I don't want send the message, he well, not wrong with I know just want send the message, he know that day. Then he know say the mobile phone, yeah, he actually wants send the message, but not something that happen with him. So this analogy go to what we say, say God. Right, God now creates we. He say he make human beings send at the world basically as a test. He make life and death, and also he test human beings. So the disease where you get, the illness you get, now a test as well. So he know within you whether this disease we get actually you able fast, but now you know one fast. Now 1, 2, say you get time you want fast, but you're not supposed for fast. So know all empty and day, like in the Quran they say in all intentions, action are judged by their intentions. It depends on your intention when you get, then God they look into for judge you. So if as told your condition a mild condition, you can try. If not severe condition, you can stop. So again, until we meet again next time, I'll tell you all thank you and goodbye.
Thank you very much. I'll come to Dr. Kamana.
Yes, well, thank you, grateful to all for support over the years. And we know, say, by God's grace going forward, we don't enjoy so today, we hope say we go spread the word, we go able for make other people and get interested. And as I say, this now for Una. So one thing I can always say, Una guide we. Because if I need any particular topic that we want for that we, deal with, please, like that address with the put so just send them. If you get question, then we will give you a topic, then by all means send them, and we will look into that and present. Because I say, if you not cater to the market or the needs, then obviously you can't do a job. And that make what they want to know for lead with. We're grateful for our support, and we tell them plenty thank you. Because with our support, we don't go past 3 years. No, so TM.
Yep.
Yeah, congratulations to everybody, and we thank you. Going forward, we know say we depend on our support. So, a big part to the back to everybody, every team member, and of course the audience. Without the audience, we know if we do what we will do. And I should say, we go achieve greater things, no questions about that. Once we get, we won't forget. We're not going to worry about that. Once we get that, we're not going to see what we go do. But we need to support going forward so that all mango no say, hey, well, Bodi de naya. If you get question, you can't win no more. We will give you the answer. No questions about that. So spread the word and remember, say, well, Bodi, na better pass Gentri. So mango get all kind of money in this world. He go give all the money. I tell you, the man where the richest man in the world, if you ask us, say, swap you riches for your health, he go tell you, say, I'd rather me health because where I get health, I go forget more money. It's as simple as that. Or the money where I get to go up and the sort or the seeking the well body, I no go walk like that. So therefore, remember, well body, na better pass Gentri. Thank you to all. God bless you all until we meet again.
Thank you very much, Uncle Doc. As soon as we run on 3 years, okay? So if Uda one year we at the sing pass Celine Dion, sing pass with me Houston. Join me again next time. Till we meet again, well body, better pass Gentri. Good night.
Thank you, Magic Man.